Yeah, good evening, guys. Hello.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening. Yeah, okay.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, 1 second, let me share. Yeah, everybody can visual screen, right? Uh, and what? Let's wait. And what is the last topic we covered? I think we completed this RAML, right? And everything, and we are all seeing this one. And today we are going to see policy mechanism, policies.
Yes,
Before,
yesterday I was on leave, sir.
yeah. So that's the continuation only. Yeah, okay.
I got hospitalized. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Actually, this is the entire point of view. This whatever the class we are discussing today is somewhat different. So, what is the meant by policies and everything? Before this one, just we can go back to our API life cycle. Then you can understand where it is. 1 second. 1 second, guys. Where is the life cycle diagram? Is there? I think it is the one. Yeah. Now you can see, so this is the our live API life cycle diagram. So whatever we discussed, you can see. So now we can see, now we can clearly understand every in each part of this one. So now you can start with the inner one. So what this white circle always intention is, it can display the how we are going to design your API and how we can validate the things before going to the full-fledged implementation. Now you can see what is the design, what is the mean by designing of your API, how we can design an API.
RAML
By
Travel.
writing the RAML, we
design
can able to design the API. Then what is the meant by simulation?
any point estimation.
No.
No.
Simulation. It is automatically creating one marking URL, right? You remember?
Yes.
So
Yes.
what is the that means when we write the RAML code, it is automatically creating the one dummy API for that one. It is automatically giving one marking URL. So we can take that marking URL and we can send to the clients. The client automatically test our API and they're going to give some feedback. That means everything is looks good there as their requirement. They will approve you. Otherwise, they're suggesting some modifications, right? So once you get the modification, again, what you need to do, again, we can go back to a design part. Again, we can redesign the RAML and the entire cycle is repeating until we can get the success, right? That means the client until we can get the client side approval. So that this process is repeating. Got it?
Yes.
So this the white circle always indicates the design. Once the design part is completed, what you are going to do, so we can simply publish that entire API inside of the exchange, or so you can download your RAML code from your design center and you start building of your application. So where
Application
we can build your application inside of
Any
studio.
point studio.
Anypoint Studio. Once the application is built, we can simply test our unit testing. And what is the next thing is, once
Deploy.
the implementation part is completed, we have the jar file. So what we need to do? We need to. So once you get the jar file, what we need to do? We need to
Deploy the
deploy the application. Where we are going to deploy your application? Where
cloud
we are going to deploy your application?
Any point
runtime
cloud
So
hub.
there are
cloud.
different cloud hub. Sorry, there
For
are different models are there. Either you can use
models.
on-premises model, either you can use the cloud hub, either you can use the hybrid. Otherwise, you can use your RTF. So different places you can able to deploy your application. So once you deploy application, what we are going to do? So we continuously monitor our API. So who are accessing your API? What is the bandwidth and what are the traffic levels and everything we need to monitor it. So for that one, we are using the front end GUI, that is your any point platform, right?
Um,
So we are going to see what is the API management and everything. But you can see this is the one. So what is the meant by this one?
security.
So we
Security.
need to secure API. What is the meant by securing of APIs? What is meant by securing of APIs?
Applying security policies.
So what is the meant by securing? So how we can apply the policies? What is the meaning of securing an APIs?
Authentication authorization.
Authorization means securing is nothing but you want to restrict your accessibility of your API. Only authentication persons only want to access your application. That means we need to write some rules and rules to access your API. So that applying the rules, simply we can call it as applying the policies. Okay, when someone asks the question what is meant by policies, policy is nothing but we can simply apply the some rules to who can access, what are the list of IPs we can block it, who can access, how we can access, what is the time limit or what is the request limited. So everything we can able to do it. So that technically that entire technical part we can call it as a applying the policies. Okay, so how we can provide the security means by applying the policies we can able to provide the security to your API. Okay, got it guys? Now you can understand this entire thing we can call it as a API
Life cycle.
life cycle. Got it? So now we are seeing this deployment. Now we are going to see this part. What is this part? Securing of your API. Securing of API is nothing but the applying the policies. Okay. Now we are going to see where we can apply the policies and everything. Now this is my AnyPoint platform. I'm closing everything. I'm just preempting 1 second. So this is the one. So previously in the design center, I'm creating again. You can say I'm start with the starting one. So there are different APIs I have created. So this is the one basic simple API. What is this intention? Let's see what is the structure of this API. Now you can see this is my endpoint is employee. It have the one get method, one post method. Let us understand. Okay. So I want to publish this entire API inside of the exchange. So before that one, we go and see what is the exchange. You can see there's already in exchange one application is there. So the same thing you can see this one is related to that one. Okay, for example, you are getting confusing. I'm deleting this one and we can publishing it, this entire thing. You can see there is no more assets inside of my exchange. I'm just repeating the same thing. So now we are completed our design part, then we can simply publish it, publish to exchange. And everything we can publish to exchange. What is my asset name? Employee. Just wait for it. Now go to your exchange. Now you can see, is there any assets are available? Yes, there is one asset is available. Okay. Now design part is completed. Exchange part is completed. What is the third one? We need to deploy your application. Where we can deploy your application? Where we can deploy your application?
Manager.
Which manager? API manager or runtime manager? So we
Runtime
need to
manager.
select the runtime manager. Go here. So here different execution environments are there. There is no applications are there. Deploy application. You guys are remember there are different applications. Either you can use the Cloud Hub, either you can use your hybrid, right?
Yes.
So for example, let us say, for example, first I'm deploying my application on the Cloud Hub, then we can deploy our application inside of your local environment. Okay, we will see both cases. I'm selecting the Cloud Hub, then here I'm going to give my API name. What is my API name? I'm giving, I think employee, right? Employee hyphen API hyphen, I think it is not allowing the numbers. Employee API, okay. We can give organization first. Okay. Now choose your file. So how we can get that one? First we need to get the jar file. Now how we can get that jar file? So you can see this is my sample application. I'm simply create or importing it. If you want, I can redo. You guys are familiar with, right? How we can design an API with by using your RAML.
Yes.
Okay, so this is the same project. You can see there is one get method, one post method. So I'm creating one simple project depending on the our RAML code. So how we can get your jar file? Where we can see that jar file?
No resources.
where we can get your jar file. Once you run your project, let's see, for example, I'm running my application. Maybe you guys are forget that things. You can
At
see
the local
once you, yeah. So inside of this one, there is a one folder called, what is this one?
target.
So inside of the target, it is automatically creating one jar file for you. You can see I'm just opening the target where it is showing System Explorer. Go to target. So inside of this one, this is my jar file. So we want to pick this jar file. I'm simply copy this one, go to the desktop. I'm placing over there. Okay, let us see. Okay, so this is the jar file. We are going to deploy our application. Choose the file, upload the file. So where it is available under the desktop, you can simply give it. So everything we are seeing the cloud runtime version, archer size and everything, we can deploy our application. Just wait for it.
So we have to deploy both YAML as well as jar.
No. So you can see in the deployment part, we need only the jar file only. How
Yeah,
you can get the jar file? From the Anypoint Studio only, you are getting the jar file. So
Yeah.
from the Anypoint Studio, what file you require? The RAM. Everything is interrelated, step by step, step by step. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to stop this application. Now you can see my application is running inside of which environment? Cloud Hub environment. Okay. Just wait for it. Just wait 2 seconds. So design center is completed, exchange is completed. The third one is the deployment. So three things were completed. Now we need to apply the policies, where we can apply the policies and everything we are going to see today. Okay. And we are going to see the hybrid deployment once again. Maybe you guys are remembered, I don't know. So once again, I'm showing you hybrid deployment model is nothing but your server is available inside of your local machine and the controlling part is available inside of the any point platform. Okay, I will show that one also. Okay, it is taking time. Don't worry. Okay, yes. One second, I think I need to change one setting. Yeah. So it is still deployed. Yeah. So you can see my application is successfully started. So how we can able to access this one? Just go to here. So this is my URL. Then we can copy this copy link address. Go to the postman. Let's test it whether that is available or not. And what is the one?
Employee.
8081 and slash API slash employee. I think. Okay. You can send it. It is still in deployment mode only. Let's wait for it. What is the output we are getting? Okay. I think we need to wait 2 more minutes. It is still in deploy mode. Okay. Okay. So this is the way we can able to do it. For example, the same application I want to deploy inside of my hybrid machine. So what is the hybrid machine means? Your application is to run inside of your local machine, right? So how we can run your application inside of your local, how we can ready your on-premises server. For the on-premises server, we require this, right? What is this one? Standalone. You can see there is nothing is there. I'm just starting my on-premises server. Bin, there is a mule application. I'm going to run it. Both time. So my Cloud Hub server is taking some time. That's what. Now you can see I'm trying to start the my on-premises server. Okay, let's wait for it. Now you can see my application is up and running. Now I want to deploy the same thing. So how we can deploy the application? Let's forget about this one. So my application is one application is running inside of the Cloud Hub. I want to deploy one more application. You can see, go to here. So I will give, this time I can give local app. I can do local, I can go otherwise employee API local. Okay, now you can see here I want to select this time which one we need to select it, Cloud Hub or hybrid.
Hybrid.
Then we need to select the hybrid. Previously I already added the server, that's why it is coming here. My server is already running mode. Then here we need to choose your file where it is available inside of the desktop. I'm selecting this one, then open it, then deploy the application. Now let's see, now my application is start inside of my local machine. Let's wait it.
So that deploy status currently showing it's of server.
Yes, this is the server only. Now you
Server.
can see my app is already, you can see. Now it start loading here. Just wait it. Everything comes here. Now you can see my application is comes inside of my local machine and start running of this application. Okay, just wait for it. Now this is my local on-premises server. Inside of that also I'm deploying the application. This is the way we can able to, let's wait for it. Everything comes here. So meanwhile, we are going see, you can see still it is deploying my runtime version of the Cloud Hub. And this is my local machine. Just wait for it. Okay, I think, yes, my local server is somewhat fast and right. Where we can see your applications, when we deploy the application, you can see what is the status I am getting.
Started.
So my application is successfully started. So if you want to test your application, how we can test application? This is my Cloud Hub address. So my application is running inside of my local machine, right? So how we can access that application? So this is my local host. This is my port number. This is my endpoint. Got it?
Yes.
Now I am hitting it.
Same as previous.
So 503 server is available, not available. I think 1 second. My server is running.
Service is not done.
1 second, server is up, started application. Let's see. 8081 authorization employee. My endpoint is everything is correct. 1 second.
Okay.
We need to employee local.yaml configuration. Everything is run. 1 second, guys. Okay. It is application is started. Why it is showing the server is starting? Yes, 1 second. Yeah, my server is running. Now it is started. Let's hit it. Okay. Localhost 8081. I think we can. My server is up and running. Let's hit it one more time with the new tab. HTTP ::. Localhost. What is my endpoint? 8081/API/employee. Then we can get it. Oh, service is unavailable, but my server
Server is not
sorry,
started properly.
I didn't get it. Maybe we can rerun it 1 second. We will go and see inside of the pin. Okay, apps. Yeah, it is coming over here. Just now we have started one. Maybe we can restart our application. Yes. Just wait. I'm going to restart my entire server, then we can get it. You can see my server is restarting. Once we have them. Yeah, now it is deployed correctly. Then we are going to hit it. You can see this is my local server. Oh, still I am getting the same error.
Maybe that you are
Sorry. No, same thing. Just now I tested this one, right?
API.
No, that is that. Oh, what is the happen? Let's see whether this my application is developed in the Cloud Hub or not. No, it is still deploying. Oh, let me do. We can create the re-application again. 1 second, guys. We are going to just now and I'm deploying everything. I'm deleting this one also. Okay. What I'm going to do, actually previously I done one small thing, maybe that causes the issue. I remove this thing. Okay, now I'm going to create it. So this is my jar file. I can copy this one, go to the desktop. Okay, this is the one. We are going to deploy this application on the Cloud Hub. Will it be live? Now we're going to see it. Just wait for guys. It is possible we can deploy our application locally by copy pasting of our RAM. 1 second. So without deploying on the applications, it is not possible to apply the policies. That is the problem. Otherwise, we will deploy the application inside of any point studio and we will see that one. But definitely this time it will come. Now manually how we can deploy the application. Okay. Applying the runtime version. Oh. So how we can manually deploy the application in the local server? Anyone? Any idea? So previously we are deploying one thing, right? How we can deploy the application? We can simply move this jar file to the one particular folder. What is that folder name? In the local servers, there is a one folder called apps. So here we need to move this one application. Let's see this model. Let's wait for it.
Okay.
No, don't worry, that will automatically. Now my application is started. API platform, current organization. Yeah, okay, got it there. Yeah. Actually, I enable this one, but this organization is not available. We
API.
need to know. Okay, API auto discovery. Actually, again, we need to redeploy. Okay, that causes the issue. Okay. Now I got it. Okay. That is the one. Okay. 1 second, guys. Now definitely this time all will comes. Still it is there. Okay, forget about this one. We are going to deploy this application on the local one. So where is our local one? So we are going to run our local application from the bin. Second, guys, I'm going to start my local server. Then where is our document target, right? Go to target, show in System Explorer. I'm going to copy this one, target, copy, Control C, go to desktop, whatever the is there, nothing is there. I am placing. Let's now I'm going to deploy the application, and this time I'm giving the SAM employee API, the local. Then which one we need to select the hybrid? Oh, no more servers. Oh, we can add the server there. Yeah,
It's
server
running.
is running. Then
That running with that auto discovery, right?
no. Here we need to select it. The hybrid. Yeah, now this time comes. What is the one we are giving? Employee local. Then we need to choose a file. Which is the one? Yeah, this time 100% it comes. Let's wait for it.
What is
Yeah.
API auto discovery, sir?
That's what I'm telling you. Once your application is deployed, then only you guys will understand what is the API auto discover and everything. Meanwhile, we can run and can delete this application. Why we are wasting resources? Let's wait for it. My new application is starting. Just wait it. If this one is also not come, then we will see we can deploy the application inside of Anypoint Studio, and we are going to run that one. That is also will works. Now my application is started. Just wait for it. The status also come here. Country.
Start.
Now this one also we need to get the started. Okay, this is my local one. Then you can hit it. Yeah, now you can see my application is running inside of my local server. That is my API. Now you can see there is no app running inside of Anypoint Studio also. That means whatever the API is running, that is available inside of your local on-premises server. Okay, now what is my requirement is I don't want to anyone and I don't want to give permission to execute this API anyone. So I want to give some authentication. So how, for that one we need to apply the policies. But here the thing is where we can apply the policies is nothing but, so here is the place we can apply the policies. So just go to this one. What is this one?
API manager.
API manager. You can see inside of the API manager by default nothing comes here. So first we need to add an API here. But the problem here, you can see your application is already running inside of your runtime plan, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So now you can see, I think I already discussed this one. I will show you one important diagram. So it is no, it is another one. So there is a one particular image I want to show you. Is there any name with the API auto discovery? Okay, now you can see. Now you can see now your application is inside of your runtime manager. But where we can apply the policies?
API
API
manager.
manager.
So that means we need to connect these both ones. So this is your control plane, this is your execution plane. So we need to connect these two things. So how we can connect these two things? By using
API auto discovery.
API auto discovery. That means by using this key, what is this key? Technically, we can call it as a API auto discovery key. By using this key only, we can able to identify whatever the APIs available inside of your API manager and its corresponding execution environment. Got point? So inside of the API manager, you are adding 10 APIs. But all the 10 APIs has no need of guarantee. All the 10 APIs are in execution plane, right?
Hmm.
So, but how we can identify it? So inside of API manager, we are adding one employee API. So how your API manager can identify where my application is running inside of the cloud hub or inside of the on-premises or inside of the hybrid, which environment or where is the place my application is running? How your API manager identify that one? So that execution environment information is automatically identified by using
Auto discovery.
API auto discovery.
API. Now you can understand, for example, there is no API auto discovery is there. Is it possible to identify where your application is running?
No.
No, that is the usage of your API auto discovery. First, we need to add your working API inside of.
API
API
manager.
manager.
Now you can see how we can add API manager inside of here. You can see add API, adding API. You can see we already created a API, right? Then we can go to with this. What is the one?
Mule gateway.
Mule gateway. Then go to down here. You can see which version of application you are running.
Mule 4.
Mule 4.
Mule 4. Then click on the next. So where your application is, you can see either you can create the new API. You already creating an API where it is available.
Exchange.
Exchange.
Now you can see everything it is picking from the exchange only. Got it?
Yes.
So if you are not pushing your asset inside of the exchange, we are unable to get the API inside of API manager. If you are not get the API inside of the API manager, we are unable to control the or we are unable to apply the policies. Now you can see everything is connected. So your application is available inside of exchange only. We can able to add that application to the API manager. If the application is inside of the API manager only, then only we can able to control it. Got it?
Yes.
Now, so my application name is, my asset name is, technically we can call it as asset. What is my asset name? Employee. Then we can see, so when we selecting this application, it is automatically picking all the information from your asset. Okay, then click on the next. So leave it, everything is an empty, don't touch anything. You can simply click on next. Okay, then save. Let's see what happens. Now you can see my API is available inside of my control plane. That is my API manager. What is my API name? Employee. What is the version? V1.
V1.
And you can see what is my API status?
Unregistered.
Unregistered. Now you can see here you are getting one value. What is this one?
Auto discovery.
Auto discovery. That means it is giving this value. So where we need to add this auto discovery? Where we need to add this auto discovery? This value is coming from API manager. Where we need to add this one? Inside of a runtime manager. Right? How we can deploy the application? So you are already deployed the application. Your application is already available inside of a execution
Runtime.
environment. But so before doing that once, we need to add one configuration setting, that is your API auto discovery. So you can see this is the development stage. We need to add here. What we need to add?
Auto discovery.
Auto discovery. That means whenever we need to link up your control plane and execution plane, so first we need to add one global property, that is API
Auto
Discovery.
discovery.
auto discovery. But here again I am facing one question. So from which organization it is automatically picking auto discovery? So different organizations are there, that means different companies are there. From which company I want to identify it? Right, that should also important na. Then you can see this is the setting. First we need to set it window preferences. So here you can see API manager is there, authentication is there. These are all the setting from your organization. Okay, so here what required, you can see we need to link up your application with your API manager, right?
Yes.
So API manager asking two things. What is the one? First, it is asking environment credentials. So client ID and client secret, where we can see what environment is executing, how we can identify what is the environment you are executing. So now you can understand this part. What is this one?
Access
Access
management.
management.
And so this is the place where we can see all the information regarding your AnyPoint platform. So my organization name is the self, and inside of this one we have the environments. So for example, you are running the 4 or 5 application, each application require the new environment. Then here we are creating the different environments. Okay, so it is by default your application is running inside of a
Sandbox.
now here what is the requirement it is asking your API manager?
Client IDs, client
No, no,
secret.
no, no. First it is asking for the,
Environment
you can
condition.
see maybe you are removing client ID and client secret, but the problem here you can see for the organization also we have the client ID and client secret. You can see for the organization level also we have the client ID and client secret. But what client ID, client secret we need to pass it?
API.
Environment.
Environment.
Environment. So your application running on which environment? So
Sandbox.
this is the example, this is the trial one, right? So your application running inside of the sandbox. So we need to get this client ID, client secret. You can see. Okay. So I'm just copy this one, go to here. This is my client ID. Then again come back, and this is my client secret. I'm also copy this one, go to your AnyPoint platform. Then so you can simply validate it. You can see my organization name is the self and everything is comes. Then you can simply apply and close. Now you are simply what you are done, you are simply link up your AnyPoint platform with the your organization, AnyPoint studio with the your AnyPoint organization. Then now we can try with the auto discovery. Then we can select this one. So here it is asking API ID. How we can get this API ID?
Auto.
How we can get this API ID? Tell me.
API manager.
Right. So where is our API manager? This is my API manager. Inside of the API manager, already deploy the application. Now you can see your auto discovery,
API ID. Yes.
right? So you can
Yes.
simply copy this one, go here and place it.
Full
Then,
name.
so here the flow name is nothing but always select the main flow. Okay. Then select and okay. So now these are the settings you need to do it before deploying the application.
Now we
So
have to redeploy, right?
right now we need to we need to recreate your jar, right? Then only we
Yes.
can able to get it. So once you run the application, you can see building the zip file, then the build is success, then there is no use of this one. Go to the target folder where it is available inside of the system explorer. Now this inside of the target, I can copy this jar file, go to here. So I'm placing inside of the desktop, whatever the previous is there, I'm deleting it, I'm placing. Okay, again we need to redeploy the application, right? So how we can redeploy application? Just go to, you can see as of now it is unregistered. So just go to your runtime plane. This is my runtime plane. Then you can see again we need to redeploy. Simply choose, upload the file, select it. That's it. So once you reconnect it, automatically your API manager status will be changed. Let's see. Just wait for it. It is automatically restarting your application. You can see still it is unregistered state only. Once you deploy the application, it is automatically changes to the active mode. Still now it is not starting still now. They started, then wait for the 2 to 3 seconds, then we can pick that information. Okay, just wait for it. It is taking 2 to 3 minutes to upload that information. Once we get the unregistered to active, then we can able to do apply the policies. Now you can see what is the API status I am getting.
Active.
That means it is successfully completed the connection of API manager with the
Runtime manager.
now. For example, now you can understand this is your interview question, guys. What is the usage of API auto discovery is nothing but we can able to connect the your control plane with the execution plane. Okay, now you got it how we can connect it.
Yes.
Now what is your second point? We need to apply the policies. You can see here we can apply the policies. You can simply click on the apply policies. You can see there as of now I am not applying any policies. Now you can see click on add policy. For example, I want to give this some username, password kind of thing. That is my basic authentication. I want to apply that policy. You can see there is a policy called basic authentication. The simple, I am selecting this one. Then you can simply select the next. And here it is asking you give the username and password. For example, I am giving the test, my username, and the password is the I can give the employee, or otherwise I can give the test. Okay. Then you can see I am apply the policies. Now you can closely observe here, everything comes here. This is my execution plane, right? So
Yes.
let's here you can see that message comes here. We have successfully applied the basic authentication policies or something. Just wait for it.
Do they redeploy internally or just
No,
apply?
no, no. It's not going to redeploy the application. It is automatic. Apply the policies. That's it. The policy mechanism, it is not going to redeploy application, but it is adding the security level. It add one layer. Just you can see here we are getting that message. It is taking 2 to 3 seconds or 1 minute max. Once you get the message, then only we can able to do it. Now you can see what is the message I am getting applied.
Policy.
That means we are successfully applied the policies, and you can see this is your API auto discover and everything comes here, right? Now you can see the same API. Now you can see I'm trying to accessing it. What is the one it is getting?
Basic authentication required.
Now it is got failed, right? That means you are managing your application or not.
Yes.
So who are having the authorization key, those people only can access it. For example, here I want what is the one? Basic authentication. What is the your username?
Test.
Test.
That's right. Then you can see who are having these credentials, those persons only they can access it. Now you can see the difference. Now we are getting data, right?
Yes.
So that means we are successfully apply the
Policies.
policies, right? So wherever your application is running, no problem. We can simply control your application from this runtime plan, right?
Yes.
Execution. For example, I want to add one more policy. Okay, let's see what are the other policies. So for example, what is the policy means there is a rate limiting policy is there. What is the meaning of rate limiting is nothing but so there is a free users are there, prime users are there, something like that one. For the free users, I want to hit my API within a minute only 5 times. Okay,
Yes.
got it? You got my point?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that policy we can call it as a rate limiting. Then you can see I'm applying the rate limiting here. select it the next. Now you can see what are the settings. Now the rate limiting here, okay. So you can see number of requested. You can see the number of requested is nothing but the 5 requests with a given time, right? You can see. So within a second or within a minute, you can see. So within a minute, how many times I'm hitting my API?
5 times.
Only 5 times. After 5 times, it is automatically giving some error. It is not allowing you to access given minute, right? So
Yes.
after 1 minute is completed, again your quota is renewed. Okay, let's see. I am applying this policy. Okay, you can see apply the policies. Okay, I applied the policies. Just wait, once you get the information here, then we can try it. Just wait it. It is taking some time. Now, where is my server? Whatever you are seeing, this is my on-premises server.
On-premises
For the
server.
Cloud Hub also, we need to do the same thing, guys. Nothing is changed. Okay. Uh, just wait it. It is taking some time. Yeah, you can see applied
Rate limiting.
rate limiting. Right now, you can see I'm go to my application, and this time I'm hitting. Let's count it. 1, we are getting the data. 2, getting the data. 3, getting the data. 4, getting the data. 5, getting the data. Now you can see
Quota has been exceeded.
that means within a minute, how many times I can able to use this entire API?
5
Fine.
times.
Only 5 times. That is your rate limiting. Got it? Just wait for the 1 minute. After 1 minute, again your quota is revoked. Just wait for it. I think we are not getting. No, it is not at released. Just wait for it. So whatever you are seeing, that is your rate limiting policy. No, it is not that. I think you can see this is the error. 429 too many requested. So can the custom messages and custom status codes we are mapped, right? So this is the way we can have now not at released. After 1 minute only, it is again renewed your quota. Now I think you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quota is exhausted. So this is the way we can able to apply the
Rate
which
limit.
policy? Rate limiting. Okay, let's see what are the other policies. Maybe you can see, and you can see what is the one is IP allow list, IP block list is somewhat different. What is the meant by IP allow list? Maybe so we are using the from the company laptops or was authorizations IPs only. They will allow you to write.
Yes.
I mean, whatever the list of IPs you are giving here, for example, my system IP is 10.1.0.20. This is the IP only we can able to allow usage of this API. Then that policy we can call it as a
API allow.
API allow list. Somewhat different, quite opposite. So what is the quite opposite means whatever the IP I am adding here, those IPs doesn't allow to usage of your API. That is your IP block list. Got it?
Yes.
So generally the organization people they can set this one. You can see IP allow list, IP block list.
Yes.
Okay. So these are the two things.
Sir,
I will one second, one by one. Okay. For this one, you can see there is one more policy is available that is
Rate limiting.
syllabus rate limiting.
for this one first you can understand one important one that is
Client ID enforcement.
okay. First, for example, I don't want to apply these policies. I want to remove the policy. How we can able to remove the policies? You can see this is I want to remove this rate limiting. Then you can simply go here. Either you can remove the policy. You can see simply remove it automatically. The policy is deployed. I mean,
Removed.
it is removed. You can see once you get this one. First, we will see the client ID enforcement, then we can go for the SLA based rail. Then only you can understand. Okay, I know how it is comes here. Now we can going to see add a policy here. You can see for this one what we need to do. Now I am going to apply the
Client ID.
so client ID enforcement. I am selecting it. You can see for this client ID enforcement, we need to send some headers. What is my header name?
Client ID.
Client underscore ID and client underscore secret. We need to pass two values, one with the client ID with the name client ID, second is the client secret. We need to pass two values. But the question is where we can get your client ID and client secret. So there are different applications are there, organizations are there. What we need to pass this one. So here you can remember this is the most confusing question and the interview point of view. So whenever we need to run your client ID enforcement, first we need to create the different level of applications. Now where we can create the application means you can see this is your asset. Now you can understand the philosophy of your APIs and everything. You can see this is your employee API. The same employee API can be used by 2 or 3 companies. Let us visualize it. So you are created one API. So this API can be used by the XYZ company, ABC company, and PQR company. That means whatever the policies you are applied over the API manager, that is applicable for the 3 companies or only one company.
All three.
But that is the real-time requirement. That is the
No.
real-time scenario. So whatever the policies you are applied, that is stick for the that company only, right?
Yeah.
That means again you need to recreate your entire asset. No,
Yes.
right? So
No.
so you already created APIs. What you need to do is you need to create the top of your API different application. That is the point you need to remember. I'm not going to create any new API. So top of my API, I am creating the different application. Got it? So that
Yes.
application is specific for your organization. For example, you are from the XYZ. I am creating one application for the XYZ. Okay. So I am creating the application for the PQR. Whatever the policies I'm applying, that is only stick for that for particular application level only. Okay. Okay. Now you
Yes.
can see how we can create the application means you can see simply open this one. Then you can see here it is one thing able to see. What is this one?
Request access.
You can simply click on request access. Here we can able to create your application. So far there is no application is there. I'm simply creating an application. For example, I'm creating testing application. I think you can see test01. This is my application name. Okay, just created. Otherwise, you can see here you can able to mention your company URL and everything. But I don't want to create everything here. So in testing application, create it. Okay. Now you can see what is the when request access. When we click on request access, what we are getting?
Client ID and secret.
Client ID and client secret. So these client ID and client secret is for the your entire organization or only that particular application?
Particular.
application.
Now you got it. Now I'm closing this application where we can see your applications.
My
You can see
application.
this is my Exchange. There is a one place called.
My
application.
Then go to application. You can see these are the applications you are created. You can simply click on that one. You can get your client ID and client secret. Got it? Now you
Yes.
can see here I'm applying the my client ID enforcement policy. Here we need to plus our client ID, client secret. Now you can see I'm applying this policy. Just wait for it. Once we get hit. So where we can get this client ID and client secrets?
Application.
Application. Where we can create the application?
Form asset.
Where asset is available?
Asset is available.
Exchange, right?
Exchange. Yeah.
That's the one order, remember it. Just wait for it. This is, we are just created the, we are just applied the what policy? Client ID enforcement policy. Okay. Just wait it. I can see applied policy, client ID enforcement policy. So we need to hit it. For example, I'm hitting this one. Let's see. Authentication denied. Why it is authentication denied? We need to pass two headers, that is your client ID and client secret. Here you can see I am passing client client underscore ID. So we need to give the value here. Where we can get that value? Just go to your
Market.
exchange. Inside of the exchange we have the application. Inside of the application we are getting. I'm just copy this one. Go to here and placing here. What is the second thing?
Client secret.
Client underscore SCCRET secret. Then again we can copy this one. You can simply show and copy and come here and place it. Hit it. You get the data, right? For example, I mistakenly placing the wrong key. Then what happens? What the error we are getting? Now you
Invalid
got it.
client.
So that means that particular client only is able to
Access.
access,
Access
right?
the API.
Now you can understand how we can you differentiate the different organizations one on the top of the same API.
Yes.
Now,
By
now
making
this is the So by creating the different levels of application. So this is your client ID enforcement policy. Now you can understand, right? So there is one more policy is there. So now you can see this the one. The rate limiting policy is nothing but you can see where it is. I think so. So here you can see there is a rate limiting SLA based policy is nothing but the, for example, let us take Amazon Prime. So inside of the Amazon Prime, so we have the free accounts are there, paid accounts are there, right? What is the difference between both two? The Prime user can early can access the products, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Free
So the
delivery.
normal people cannot be able to access it, but the same application, right? Depending on the user, working principle is changed, right? So how they can differentiate these things? So if it is coming the free user, we need to restrict these things. If it is coming the what is the one prime
Premium.
user, we need to write. So how we can differentiate means inside of that one, they can create the different levels or different layers. Okay. So for that one, first we need to create a different levels. So how we can create the different levels of application means first we need to create the SLA tier. So where we can create the tier means you can see what is this one?
Cellular.
SLA tier. First here we need to create it. This is my prime user. This is my free user. I want to create the tier. You can see I'm adding the tier. So for the free user, you can see I am using the free user. The free user, we can allow you to usage of this API only 5 times. You got it?
Yes.
The free user, I want restricting within a minute, you can able to use it only 5 times. Then this is the one. Approval, it is automatically I am giving, add it. Okay. Now there is a prime user is there. What is the one? I'm going to add the prime user. From the prime user, I can give the access of the 1000 requested within a minute. Okay. Now, so there are two levels of tiers are available, right? So one is the free user, one is the prime user. So now what is your requirement? You need to create two different application, one for the free user, one for the
Prime user.
prime user, right? So where we can create those applications,
Endpoint exchange.
right? Then go to your exchange, go back here. So top of which
My
one?
all asset employee.
Top of your asset, then go to here. So
Request
here we
access.
need to create the different application, here the request. So here we need to select the test application, otherwise we are going to create a new application. Here you can see I'm creating the
User.
prime application.
Okay.
Then create. Here you can see it is asking to add your tier. You can observe. So this is my prime application. I'm adding this entire prime application with the tier.
Prime.
Right? Then you can see automatically your prime application auto allow you 1000 requested. Then you can see request access. It is automatically coming client ID and client secret. Close it. Again, we need to add one more application, right? What the application name? Here I want to create one more application, that is my
Yes.
free application. So we need to add to that one to tier free, right? Again, we are coming the client ID and client secret. You can see when we apply the SLA based one, it is automatically asking you again client ID.
Client secret.
So is it necessary to add this necessarily again to add this policy here? Is there any
No.
necessity usage of this one? Because when we applying the client secret, sorry, when we applying the SLA based one, it by default it comes with the.
Client ID. Client.
So we no need to use the same policy again. Just wait for it. Once it is the remove the apply the policy again, you can see. Just wait for it.
It will remove client ID and then we'll add SLA.
Then we will add SLA based one. Then we can test the application. I think it is taking some time. Just wait for it. Yeah, it is deleted. Then go to the apply policies where it is available.
Yeah, rate limited.
Right now, next. So for this one also we need to pass the client ID and the client secret as the headers and everything. Apply. Just wait for it. Meanwhile, we go and see my exchange page. So there are my applications are available. You can see this time how many applications we are having. Three application. One is the free application, one is the prime application. So we are going to test it. I think it is not applied yet. Now you can see rate-based policies applied. Now we are going to test of a free application. I'm just opening the free application. Why I'm opening the application? Because I required my client ID, client secret for my free application. Right? I can see. So this is the one. I'm going to first hit it. Oh. These are the, I think, here you can see. Every time it is not pointing to the trade policy, right? It is pointing to my free one. Because these client ID, client secrets are for my testing application. But what is your requirement? You need to pass this one, then only it is distinguish the test application. Now we can see it. Now you can understand what is the usage of this client ID and client secret at the different application level.
Yes.
By passing these only, it can differentiate it everything. Now you can see the difference. It is my free application 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then the quota is exhausted. Then the same application here I want to pass it as a prime. Then HTTP :localhost. Okay, so here we need to pass this one. Client underscore ID. How we can get it? Go here. Instead of free application, we are going to prime application. This is my client ID. Then come here and paste it. This is the one.
Client secret.
Client underscore CRET secret. Then comes here the show. You can copy and where it is available. I'm pasting it and send it.
Employee haven't.
Okay. I think API / employee. Then hit it. What is it is asking? We are applying the basic authorization, right?
That is also important.
And we can give it where it is basic authentication, the test. Okay, send it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is there any limit?
No.
Nothing. That means the same application is behaves two different scenarios. One is only free application, one is the prime application. So this is all about your client ID enforcement. But you can see here, this is the quota is exhausted, right?
Yes.
So, but I'm keep on hitting my API, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, am I right? So how we, so for example, there are 3 persons hitting your API after exhausting your 5 APIs, right? So
Hmm.
then after again you are again you are renew your quota. Then among 3 API requested, who comes the first response? We need to maintain some queue, right?
Uh,
That queue mechanism is nothing but last time someone asked this one. What is the one? So what is the one? That mechanism, if you want to apply that one, that is your,
Spike control.
those you can see the control spikes in traffic by limiting the number of messages processed by if you can see. I will show you. That means if a quota is existed, the keep again the same request are coming, then it is automatically maintain the queue. Who are hitting the first, those will be maintained in, and the same order it is giving the preferences. Got it?
yes.
Okay. So that is the one. So you can see. This is the one. If there is no request quota in the current window, the policy allow you request to be queued for later reprocessing without closing the connection to the client. If you are not apply this policy, what happens? If the quota is exhausted, it is automatically closed all the incoming connections to the client. Got it?
Yes.
So if you want to, if you don't want to close the connection and just you need to place them inside of the waiting, then again we renew the quota, then we need to apply this policy. Got it?
Yes.
So this is your spike control. So these three are all interrelated. Got it? So that's all about the these are the policies generally we are talking about, and this auto OAuth 2.0 is somewhat different kinds. It is not comes with the direct one. It is a two-level authentication. So we need to create one OAuth. External providers are there. They will give you different kinds of authorization token. Again, we need to connect them and we need to again reconfigure it. This is the very big process. Okay. So if you have an idea, then you can talk about this one. Otherwise, you can simply, you can see generally for a developer, you don't have a chance to apply these policies. Your admin people will take care of all these things. But it is better to know how we can apply and what is the everything. Okay, guys.
Yes.
So generally, admin people, you don't have the permission to see all these policies also. But it is very and understand it. Okay. So in the interview point of view time, then generally they're asking this question, what is OAuth 2.0? If you know, you can answer it. Otherwise, you can simply skip this question. I don't have the permission to apply these policies. There are DevOps people are there. They will take care of that one. You can just manage that one. Okay. So that's all about the apply the policies over an API. That's all. Anypoint platform. Yeah, that's the end for the Anypoint platform. Okay. Okay, tomorrow we will see, I think, for each, parallel for each batch. Then we can talk about the M unit. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all from, okay. Yeah. So just practicing the policies and everything, it is very easy, guys. Once two times practice, then it is easy.
It's all about any point platform, right, sir? Any
Right?
point exchange.
Yeah, you can see these
It's
are
all
the
about.
things.
First is,
Exchange, you can
can
see
you
this is the
summarize in
one
the brief?
in
Last.
the exchange. You can where we can see all your asset. That is the only thing in the inside of the exchange. We are going to do that one only. Okay. This is the exchange. Where is the place? Is the place where we can showcase all your created APIs and it's a documentation. That's the only thing. Hello.
Yeah.
Understand? Yeah. So that's the one. Yeah. So the remaining the one access management. It is the place where we can control all your organization setup and everything is there. Here you can see your organization, execution environment, everything here you can able to design. For this one, the admin kind of thing for your endpoint platform. Okay, what is the environment settings? So user accessing roles and everything. This is your admin people. So mules of admin course is there now. So they will need this all these things. Okay. For the developer, generally you know required only design center only you need to talk about it. And the runtime manager, you need to do it. The API governance, monitoring, everything, these admin people need all these things. Okay,
That HCP the people, right?
DevOps people generally.
Okay.
This is the one, the main API governance. So that means governance is not the meta API gateway. So you are hosting your application inside of the your Kubernetes. So you need to load balancing the things. These are all the admin people comes into the picture, VPNs and everything. Okay. So visualizers, everything. This is the admin kind of thing. Okay. As a developer, you don't require all this stuff.
Yeah.
Remember. Just remember it. Okay. So that's it for the Anypoint platform. And tomorrow we are going to see for each, parallel for each. Okay. Just practice it, guys. Yeah. Any doubts? No. Then we can stop.